If you don't have something within the neck, you don't say you're a soul. And even if you say you're a soul, which soul is that? Which soul?
Super soul? Super soul?
Ah, see? Super soul. You're a super soul?
Part and parcel?
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, if you ask a normal person who has not come in contact with Krishna consciousness, who are you? Is going to describe the things which we do. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a musician. I'm a pilot. These are the things which we do, but not we ourselves. So, we don't know who we are. The majority of people don't know who we are. We identify ourselves with this body, and all the difficulties, the problems we are going through in this material world is based on the body. The body. And we have seen so many people changing body. So many people are changing the bodies. Not only human beings change the body. All living entities in this material world changes our body. And even before the final change of the body has always been changing. Before we grow to this height, we are small like this, right? But now the body has grown big like this. There's a time when this body will not grow again, but the soul will leave the body. When the soul leaves the body, it is considered dead. What is dead? Who has died? The body? Who has died? The body. But why do we lament for the body?
The false ego identifies with the body?
Because we think we are the body. Because we think we are the body, so whatever happens to this body, we react to it negatively, not positively, negatively. But actually, inside this body is the spirit soul, not the soul, the spirit soul. The soul is spirit by nature, not just soul. Because there are some people who think that the soul is also part of the body. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, spirit, soul. The soul is spirit by nature. Inside this body, the spirit soul is making the body to function the way it is functioning. The moment the spirit soul leaves this body, Mr. President, Mr. Billionaire is lying on the floor. If you kick the face, no protest. But when the soul inside this body, every little thing we react to it. Heat, cold, happiness, distress, varieties of miseries, because the soul is inside the body. If a woman delivers a lump of flesh, what will you do with it?
See if it has a heartbeat.
Huh?
See if it has a heartbeat. See if it has a heartbeat.
If you happy.
See if it has a heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
See if it has a heartbeat.
Okay. And what else? What will you do with the body? It's a lump of flesh.
Sacrifice it, offer it.
It's a lump of flesh, just a lump of this lump of flesh. What will you do with it? Right, you throw it away. But it's a lump of body, it's a flesh, just a lump of flesh. You throw it away. But when a woman delivers a living body, what do we do with it? You cherish it. You keep it. You maintain it. What are we maintaining?
The soul.
The soul. Is it the soul? Is it the soul we are maintaining? The body, not the soul. Because we have not seen that. We have not seen what we are maintaining. And okay, even if you say maintaining, we are not maintaining the soul. It's the body we are maintaining. Our eating is what? Every day we eat is what? It's the body, not the soul. We have not seen the soul. We have not seen the person we are claiming to be brother, sister, husband, wife. We have not seen the person. What we are seeing is just the body. So all our activities ends on the body, not the soul. That is what the material is doing. Only taking care of the body and forgetting the soul. But we have already agreed that if a woman delivers a lump of flesh, we will throw it away. But now there's a live body we are keeping. So why do we forget what is making the body live? The soul is making the body live, but what are we doing for the soul?
Nurturing.
Huh?
Feeding. Nurturing the soul.
How do you nurture the soul?
Service.
Experience.
Love.
There is no love in this world, my sister. Once we are acting on this body, we cannot show any love to anybody. Love is activity of the soul, not this body. People say, I love you, but the next moment we are fighting. That is not love. It is just the body we have been dealing with. And the reaction of this body, it comes in so many ways. It's all disastrous. One who knows the soul will love everybody. Everybody will be very, very dear to you. Very dear. There wouldn't be any fighting for those who really love each other. Because we don't know what is love. If there is love, there is no question of taking. This is about giving. A society, a community where people are constantly thinking how to give each other, will they be fighting? Any argument? Separation? Divorce? No. Because we don't know that. Therefore, we are acting on the body platform. That is the problem. So one should know the self. We should know the self. What is the self? The spirit soul inside this body that is making this body to speak. It is the spirit soul, not this body that is speaking by itself. Like you have a SIM card. You have a SIM card in the cell phone, right? If you remove the SIM card from the cell phone, what happened to the phone? Huh? It will not work. Why it will not work? The phone is very expensive. Why it will not work? There is no life inside. There is no soul inside. Similarly, this body may be very intelligent, may be wise, may be beautiful, may be powerful, may be whatever it is. If the spirit soul is not inside this body, the body is 100% useless. Useless. So it is very important for us to know the self, to realize the self. That is the purpose of having a human body. According to Padma Purana, nature has given us 8,400,000 different bodies. That's the beauty of Vedic literature. Everything is perfectly calculated and is accurate. No speculation. 8,400,000 species, different bodies, nature has given to us. Out of this 8.4 million, only 400,000 is human. And out of this 400,000, 200,000 is subhuman. So very less quantity of the body that actually look for self-realization. So it's very, very important that all of you have gathered here to discuss something about the self. That is what we should be doing every day, not just today. Actually, all of us were late. We are late, but it's better to be late than never. So we are fortunate. And we thank you very much for deciding to look into understanding what is the self. Because if we understand the self, if we realize who we are, all the problems we are experiencing in this material world will be finished. And everybody is working very hard to be very happy, to be satisfied, to be peaceful. Everybody is working very hard for that. But it is very difficult to find someone who is very happy, peaceful, and satisfied in this world. Why? Because we don't know the self. If we know this, we'll be happy, be peaceful, be satisfied. Because if we understand who we are, we will also understand our origin. What is the origin of everything? He is the Supreme God. The Supreme God is the Father of all, not only human beings, all species of life, including animals and the birds and the aquatics and plants and the trees. They are all children of God. Self-realization helps us to appreciate this, to understand this, to know who is God, to know if I know that there is God and is my Father, what is my duty? What is my duty towards Him? What am I supposed to do? You have to serve Him. But presently, because we lack the science of self-realization, we are focusing on the body and forgetting about the self. We forget also about God. That is our problem. So if you know that, yes, there is a Supreme God who owns all of us, then that is the solution to all our problems. So self-realization is very, very important to understand that I am a spirit soul, and this spirit soul is perfectly described in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad is the Sanskrit word, is the song of God, what God said. There are many of these things that God said. We have Bibles, we have the Vedas, we have the Quran, we have the Torah. They are words from God to guide us. And specifically in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna described that all of us, spirit souls, we have the nature of eternity. That is the nature of the soul. The soul is eternal. Nothing can happen to it. Nothing can kill it because it is spiritual. We may have so many equipment to see this body, to see so many things, but there is no machine made by man can be able to see the soul. We need only a purified, a sinless eye to see the soul. One who has been blessed by God and has ability to see the soul. No machine can see it. So if you cannot see something, how can you destroy it? Something you cannot see, how can you destroy it? When you say target, there must be an object. There is no target without object. So if you are going to fight something, there is nothing. What will you fight? You did not fight. So the soul cannot be destroyed by any weapon. Even there are weapons which are created in goodness. Most of our weapons are created in ignorance. But there is a weapon which is created a mode of goodness. That is called Brahmastra. Brahma Astra. Astra means weapon. Brahma means the spirit soul. And they created that weapon. That is very, very powerful. Even Brahmastra cannot kill the soul. So nothing else can kill the soul. That is all of us. Our body is not eternal. The body is temporary, but the soul is eternal. And the soul is full of knowledge. Full of knowledge. Now we don't have knowledge because we are not realized. when we become realized, you will also see that we have knowledge. Our knowledge is already there. What we are looking for, everybody looking for happiness, satisfaction. It is only when we are self-realized that we'll experience that happiness, the joy that we're looking for. Only for those who are self-realized will experience it. There is happiness, it does exist. There's enjoyment, it does exist. But those things happens only on the spiritual platform, on the soul platform, not on the body platform. That is why we don't see, even though people are struggling so hard, working very hard, morning till night, they are still yet not satisfied, not happy. But when we realize the soul, it is then we'll be very, very happy, and that happiness, it is eternal, not sometimes. It is eternal. It will not be taken away at any time. It is always there. Eternity, full happiness, joy, and knowledge is part of the soul. Because the soul is the part of the Supreme God who has these three qualities in full. We have in minute quantity, but the Supreme God has it in full, in unlimited quantity. Because we are His part, so He gave us little. Having this knowledge of self-realization and understanding that we are eternal, we are full of knowledge and blissful, we will naturally look for who is the Supreme God that has given all these things. And that is the purpose of human life, to look for God. And when one starts looking for God, that is the profession of life. This material world is a prison house for prisoners. We are prisoners. In the prison, there are prison suits. And this our body is prison suit. It's not something so wonderful. Because this body has 6 stages. It is born, it will stay for some time, it will give some byproduct, it will start to dwindle, and eventually dies. That is how this body works. All bodies work like that. But the soul, the spirit soul remains the same. Even when our body is growing, the soul does not grow. It remains the same. The same. Very tiny, very, very tiny, insignificant entity. Very, very significant entity. It's not big. If you ask somebody, what is your height?
5'4".
5'4". What's the height?
5'9".
5'9". 5'10". 5'2". 5'9", maybe. Yes, you see, all of us have tall line. That is not our size. We have measured our body, which is ignorance. Which is ignorance. Our body is what we have given the size, but our own size we have forgotten. Because we have forgotten ourselves. So also we forgot, what is our size?
Smaller than a bear.
Huh?
It's smaller than a bear.
Yes, 1/10,000, the tip of the. You see, I told before the Vedic, the beauty of Vedic knowledge, perfect calculation, accurate calculation, no speculation, no imagination. Everything is perfect because it's coming from the absolute truth. That is our size. We are inside this body. So Prabhupada went to university to lecture. And then he told the teachers, who is the most intelligent person in this class? A student. The teacher, they selected one boy. He's the most intelligent person in the whole school. So Prabhupada said, Mr. Intelligent, please come here. So he came out very proud because the whole school have recognized him to be the most intelligent person. So he came out. So Prabhupada said, Mr. Intelligent, can you show me your head, your hand, your leg. You're looking, what kind of stupid question is? I'm the most intelligent person in this school. Stupid question they're asking me. The Prabhupada didn't mind. He continued. Show me your ears. He pointed. Your nose. He pointed. So Prabhupada said, you have pointed your head, your hand, your leg, all the things you owned, you have pointed to them. Show me you yourself who owned all these things. Then the boy was bewildered. He doesn't know where he is. Your hand, your leg, your nose, your eyes, your ears, your leg. Who are you that own all these things? He does not know. The boy was embarrassed. But is he properly very intelligent? He didn't call the teachers, he called the student. If he had called the teacher, they would have they would be very embarrassed. If he didn't call the teachers, he called the student. If it happened to the student, the teacher, they would say it. So they were comfortable. So this is our situation in this material world, that we point hand to all the things which we have, but we don't know who is I that own all these things. It is very important for us to know this. And Bhagavad Gita gave details about this. Just mention one, that we are eternal being. And I cannot be killed by any weapon. We are eternally blissful person, full of knowledge and eternity. This is the nature of the soul. Now this soul is inside this body, covered by this body. A lamp in the house, you do not shine because it's covered up. But if it's outside, it will show. So the soul inside this body is covered by this lump of ignorance, material body. And we are very confused and bewildered in this material world, and we are doing everything we're doing under this ignorance. That is why nobody is happy and satisfied here. Now, we should practice how to realize the self. When we are realized, we'll come to understand who we are, that we are eternally servant of God, not a master. We are eternally servant of God. And our duty is to serve God with all our heart, with all the soul. And we live our life like that, we'll be very happy and satisfied. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions?
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the wonderful discussion, and it was very enlightening, and I found that it perfectly describes the nature of the journey of self-realization, so thank you so much. When I was a very young child, 8 or 9 years old, I had this realization. I was sitting in a car and I was crying, I was very upset, and I started to quantify how much suffering was in my life. And because of this, I started to descend into this sort of despair, and I felt myself disconnecting from my sense of self. And so I kind of started to think, well, it's okay, because you're not your suffering, you're not your sadness, because that's only temporary. One day you're going to be happy and you'll be playing with your friends, singing and dancing. And then it occurred to me that that was temporary also, just like sadness. Even the statistics show that a child will laugh 80% more than an adult. So I started to ask myself, well, will I always be anxious and self-conscious of my happiness being temporary? So I thought, well, maybe in the same way that I'm not my sadness, I'm also not this happiness, or rather this passion. And so I was like, oh, okay, so I found myself questioning, well, if I'm not my emotions, then maybe I am my body. I can find joy in being a young, pretty girl, or people liking me. And then I thought, well, one day that will change too, because I'll get older and my face will change. So who I am is not even my body. So I want to be a good person in my heart, because at least that will stay the same. But then I thought, well, maybe one day when I'm 40 and 50 and my body has changed so much that maybe I will not be maybe I will have to struggle with that and find peace with that. And so then I thank you. So then I realized, well, in the same way that I'm not my appearance is my body, well, maybe that this life is also temporary. And so I started to feel that maybe that this temporary body, this temporary self was not to be identified with. So I started to question who I was. And I had met a group of Tibetan monks in my neighborhood at a very young age, so I believe that they had exposed me to transcendental meditation when they brought my brother and I to their home one day with our parents, and they showed us their monastery in the home and the sun mandalas they were practicing. So this transcendental meditation made an impression on me, and what had happened was I found myself no longer even fearing death, because I realized that the observer, the consciousness, that was eternal, and I understood that, and so I no longer feared death. I'd go on to save my best friend Fatu from a drowning, and even got city recognition from it. I was very, very grateful that God had shown me this fearlessness of death and the eternal nature, but I did not truly know joy. I did not know happiness. So it was Krishna consciousness that finally helped me piece together this last element that I had not realized that on my own in that moment, which was the joy and the contentedness of serving God. So my question is, if one finds themselves having this realization, what can bring them to this stage of joy and service to God?
Just like, thank you for, just like if you are traveling, you have a lot of difficulties, but the moment you get back home, you feel satisfied. Similarly, when you get to the stage of self-realization, identify yourself, identify who God is, and the connection is made. Because of that connection, what God is experiencing will become also your own experience. That is the joy you will get.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And may I ask one more question? Sorry,
we can ask.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
I love to speak of being good to your soul and how our body is temporary. I guess my question is, how do you remove ego from being good to your soul? And how do we nourish the soul for our God outside of thinking for our body? I think sometimes we put soul and meditation and breath work into taking care of the soul. But now I am questioning if that's ego for my body versus being good to that soul. So how do you be good to the soul and not worry about your body?
Yes. There is nourishment for the body. There is nourishment for our intellect. Intellectual nourishment is studying scriptures, philosophy. Our intellect gets nourished in that way. Poetry, writing. Our body gets nourished by eating. The soul gets nourished by single mantra. This is mantra. And this mantra is called Maha Mantra. Yes. Mantra. Man means the mind, and tra means to free. To free the mind from the engagement of material existence. That mantra, when it is chanted, it nourishes the soul, it nourishes the spirit soul, because it's coming from God, and it is connecting you with the Supreme God. Just like this house. Electrically wired, but if you're not connected to the powerhouse, you won't get electricity. Most of us are like that, disconnected. Christian consciousness, chanting of this mantra, is to connect you with the powerhouse. And the current will start flowing through, and that is the nourishment you need. To hear about God, to chant the names of God, to talk about God, to do service which is meant for God. All these are these varieties of nourishment that the soul gets.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes?
I was told that during Jesus' unpublished life from the Bible,
Yes.
that he actually went to India to learn about this enlightenment. Is that
Yes.
so?
Yes, it is true. Because, excuse me, for 12 years you don't see Jesus in the Bible. What was he doing that time?
We don't know.
Yes.
They say he could have gone through the Silk Road. He would have followed the trade routes.
No, Jesus went to India and particularly Lord Jagannath temple. Jesus was a priest in Jagannath temple. He was trained. Please, we shouldn't forget that God is one. God is one. We may have different religions. Like if you go to the road, there are so many cars on the road today. Right? There are so many cars on the road. But all the cars that are on the road, there is a destination. The car will not just continue roaming the street. There's a destination. So all of us living in this material world, we have a destination. The destination is one. So religion is a vehicle, not the goal. Majority of people think that religion is the goal. That's a big mistake people are making. God is one, and religion is also one. The religion of loving God. That is true religion for all living entities. So Jesus knows about this. So he went to India to perfect his work. After that, and he appeared again in the Bible and he was making miracles and preaching.
Was there anybody else studying the book or studying under Krishna that also had the ability to perform some of the miracles that Jesus did?
Oh, Srila Prabhupada did more miracle than that. Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, he came from India also, and the miracle he did, look at this room, see this room. Huh? Look at this small room, United Nations is here. Are we here fighting?
No.
Are we fighting here? No. See, our United Nations, they are always fighting. I am super world. You are third world. Fighting. Yes, so this is United Nations, created by Srila Prabhupada. Very silently, he created United Nations. So we are coming together to call on God. What a miracle can be more than this. He has transformed the world. He transformed our life. Before I came to Christian consciousness, I have been to so many other organizations and sorts of mystical places. I went all there. But when I came here, I'm feeling at home. Other places, I spend short times. In this place, I'm here more than 40 years in Christian consciousness. So I have spent more than half of my life here. Why? Because I'm getting what I'm looking for here. That is what Prabhupada did. It's a miracle. All right? Yes, sir.
This is lady.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
So, when does the soul enter the body?
When does the soul enter the body? That is a time you cannot calculate. We have in this material world so long that we cannot calculate when the soul entered the body, or enter the material world and enter the body. That is time immemorial. It's a memorial time. And presently, when the soul enter the body the body at the time of conception. That's what you're asking. Yes, the time of conception. When whoever is scientist or doctor or whatever, when they say that the soul entered the body at a later stage, it is not true. It is not true. I'll give you an example why it is not true. If the soul is entering the body when the body is already 7 months, what is making the body to be growing? The soul. So the soul has been, the moment the soul enter, then the body will start to develop. Right? Just like this house, if nobody stays here, this house will start to deteriorate. The same thing with the car. If you don't use the car, you park the car there 10 years, you spark it will not work. They have not been used. You can say, oh, it's a chassis, you just bought it. It will not work. Similarly, the body will not function without the soul. So right from the beginning, when the soul enters the womb of a mother, then the body will start to develop. Before then, the body will not develop. So it is not correct to destroy the body in the womb, thinking that it is nothing but tissue. It is not. It is life. Yes.
That just made me think of at the end, when a body is in hospice care and the body is dying, when does the soul leave the body prior to the body actually dying? Does the soul leave the body before the body no longer is functioning?
It is when the soul leaves the body that the body will stop functioning. You see, in this body there are 8 elements that is a component. There are 8 elements. In this body there is earth element, there is water, there is fire, there is air, and then ether. And then these are gross. The subtle is the mind, intelligence, and false ego. So there are 8 elements that make this body. The moment the soul leaves the body, all these elements will start to disintegrate. The 8th element will dissolve into the water. You see, the body starts smelling. The water comes and the body starts smelling. Like that, then until everything is finished. Yes. Yes.
So it says that suffering is attached to, desires to the material world. How do we find contentment without it? Friends, family, money, like we need all that. So how do we just live happily without it?
Poverty is not natural. Poverty is not natural. Poverty, to be poor, to be ugly, to be uneducated, all these things are considered punishment. And the punishment is according to the activities we have done personally, not what somebody else did for us, but the thing we have done ourselves that is bringing all these things. So yes, having money is not wrong, but having money for sense gratification is dangerous. This is dangerous. Right? So, but you should have money. I mentioned before, poverty is karma. It's punishment. Yes. So you should have.
Can you say that last part one more time? I'm sorry. Can you say that last part one more time?
Poverty is karma. Karma means action is reaction.
You misuse it.
You misuse of our freedom. That is karma. So we don't know what is enjoyment, but there is enjoyment, and because we don't know what is enjoyment and we don't know what it is, we are trying to speculate. In the process of speculating to get happiness, we are doing so many sinful things. And that what brings the suffering. To enjoy is not wrong, because that's the nature of the soul. God did not create us to suffer, but we don't listen to God. God has sent so many prophets, so many, not only at our time. Before we came, He has been sending, but we don't listen to them. Right? What did He do to Jesus? Huh? What did we do to Jesus? Sold Him, deny Him, then finally, actually that was not Jesus. The person who hung on the cross is not Jesus. But he wrongly accepted that He was hung on the cross. He's not, he's a different person. That is Judas Iscariot, not Jesus. Jesus went back to India after disappointment. He was preaching and people were not accepting Him. He was so disgusted with disciples that he abandoned and went back to India in a particular place called Kashmir. Jesus Christ went back there. It is there He disappeared, in India, not in Israel.
Do you see Buddha as an incarnation or a disciple?
Buddha is incarnation. Yes, it's an incarnation. Yes. Yes.
What's the difference between the spirit and the soul? You said there was a difference, but...
The soul is spirit by nature. Okay. Yes. So we don't say soul, because soul is also the body, the flesh also. So the nature of the soul that is spirit, that is why the physical eye cannot see. So we are spirit souls. Yes.
Excuse me. Hi, thank you. You made an analogy, a wonderful analogy between the body and a cell phone, and a SIM card in the soul. Now, I hear that I heard from you that when we take this SIM card from the cell phone is dead, doesn't function, so it's not useful any longer. Now, the question I have is, now when you take the SIM card, where the SIM card goes? And what I'm listening from you is that that SIM card goes to the source. What happened with the information inside the SIM card?
Very good question. Thank you. Very good. You have taken us to another dimension we call karma and reincarnation, the two words. Karma and reincarnation. The soul, we mentioned before that it does not die. It's eternal. Now, as we all are not independent, we are always at any given time dependent. We are eternally dependent. I depend on the eyeglass to see. We depend on this chair to sit on. We depend on this to communicate. We depend on the mind to reach to the back. We depend on dress to cover the body. We depend on food to take care of this body. We are dependent. We depend on air to breathe, to exist. We are eternally dependent. We shouldn't forget this. The only independence for the soul is when we have regained our eternal, original, constitutional position as a spirit soul serving Krishna eternally. That is when independence comes in. Before then, no independence. We are responsible for what we do. Everything, even what we are thinking, is recorded. What we do is recorded. And at the end, just like in the school, your performances are recorded. How you do your exams, you listen, they are all recorded. The last examination, your report will reflect all the things you did for the whole years you spent in the school, right? Similarly, all of what in this material world, everything we're doing is being recorded. There is nothing which is not recorded by this. We have an agent of Krishna called Yamaraj. And Yamaraj is the superintendent of death. He's omniscient. He knows everyone, all species of life. He has record. All of us, our record is what Yamaraj. And Yamaraj has a secretary, Chitra Gupta. He keeps it perfectly. There's no mistake. There's no single mistake that he make mistake, put your activities in me, put my activities in. No. Perfectly calculated. Everything we're doing. So based on the things we have done in the past, we have this body. And all the experiences we're undergoing now, it is the result of the activities we have performed in the past life. And the activity we're doing now is our next life. What we are doing now, that is our next life. So in Krishna consciousness, we can predict the future by looking at our activities. We will know this person is going to hell. We will know this person is going to higher planet. We will know this person is going to the kingdom of God by looking at our activities. So, if the soul, since the soul cannot die, it's eternal, and the soul is not qualified to go back to God, the kingdom of God, what will the soul do? The nature will calculate all our activities and give us a suitable body according to what we have done for the next life. This is what is going on. This life, next life, all depends on our activities that we do.
Somebody handed this book to me not long ago, and I glanced at it open and I read a little bit of it.
Very good.
And I learned that this form that you see is the highest form to reach Krishna.
Yes.
Now, since I have gone for many karma bodies,
yes,
and finally I'll reach this,
right,
which you see. Now, all that information that has been acquired through the time I was born in this body, I was put in this prison,
yes,
as you call it. I've been doing good and not so good. Everything is part of who I am. Now, knowing this doesn't mean I'm a perfect man. We just acknowledge that I'm not. When this microchip with this SIM card leaves, you will see all of that. The source will check that all. Now, I hear what you just said. According to my actions, my karma, it will choose the perfect body to please that desire. But I believe, but it's just a belief, I don't know. I believe that everybody, every soul that is here is looking for the source. Even if there are shortcomings. The Almighty God, Krishna, must know that we don't want to be a pig, that we don't want to be any of the animal, but we want to be with Him always.
Sir, with what we know by
Yeah,
science.
excuse me, you're not finished.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still not. No, he's still.
So, you mentioned Buddha, the incarnation. Jesus, I heard Jesus and other great yogis, masters, including yourself. you will be able to not come back any longer based of that desire of your heart. So eventually when that SIM card is taken out of that cell phone, you go to the source and see the truth of your heart. The source will say, you stay here with me. Now I know. I'm wondering, what happened with you, with yourself? You become part of the ocean.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Yes. Let me finish. Don't worry. Let me finish. Yes. Now that you have gotten the knowledge, as a reading Bhagavad Gita, that is just the beginning of the journey. That's the beginning. After knowledge, what to do? Application. It is application that will bring the result. So now we start to practice. Okay, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, and my duty is to serve Krishna, and how to purify my soul by chanting a particular mantra. Now you start to chant this mantra. When you start chanting this mantra, you start hearing about God, you start behaving nicely as the Gita is teaching, you start following everything that is there. God is seeing, oh, this soul wants to come back to me now. After innumerable rotation in this material world, suffering, now he has become wise. He wants to come to me. So he's following now. God feels happy. And he starts to send you all the necessary facilities. Come on. And as we continue to move on, we come to this professional stage of developing our pure love for God. When that is done, back home, back to God's head. You never come back here again. You stay in eternity.
So we merge with God.
Going back to God does not mean merging. Merging is suicide, spiritual suicide. Right? How will you enjoy when you merge? How will you enjoy when you merge? When you merge, there's no activity. Is it enjoyment if you get a benediction to sleep for 100 years? Is that enjoyment or punishment? Don't worry, don't do anything, just sleep, peaceful, sleep. That is not enjoyment, it is punishment. Because you don't have a proper understanding about God. God is a person. You are a person, individually and eternally. Eternally. The Gita you're holding, if you open chapter 2, text 12, read it. 2, chapter 2, text 12. Read and see what Krishna said. Two 12. Read it very loud so everybody can hear.
Never was there a time.
Never was there
a
time
when I did not exist.
When I, who is the I?
God.
Krishna, does not exist. Never was there a time when I, Krishna, never exist. Yes?
Nor you.
Nor you, we the spirit soul. Yes.
Nor all these kings.
Now all the kings, Krishna was speaking this verse on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He was speaking to Arjun. Arjun represents all of us. And the kings, all the Sati, the warriors who were ready to fight. So Krishna is referring, I existed eternally, you Arjun, I'm seeking to exist eternally, and all other persons here are existing eternally. Yes?
Nor in the future.
In the future.
Shall any of us cease to be.
So is that merging? Is that merging? No. Krishna said, Krishna is speaking, the God is speaking. Who will speak the best, God or we?
Okay,
Good.
as you speak about this afterlife and everything about that, E equal MC squared. Everybody should know what that is. Energy is not destroyed. You have enough energy in your body that you can light up a light bulb. That's energy. If energy is not destroyed, when you die, that energy goes somewhere. So, where does it go to? Heaven? The afterlife?
According to our
According to
activities.
Einstein, E
According
equal
to
MC
our
squared.
activities. According to our activities, the soul, we have mentioned before that no one is independent. We are all dependent on, even the energy we are talking depend on energetic, the supreme personality of God. It is the source of the energy. That is Krishna. So everything goes back to him, but nothing merges into Krishna. We remain individually, eternally. Right? Can you enjoy, anyone here can enjoy alone? Eh? Anyone who can enjoy alone? Alone, just yourself. Eh? Just yourself. What will you enjoy yourself?
But we never alone.
Eh? Nothing.
The master.
If you want to enjoy, what to do? You get somebody with you, is it not? Yes. That is how you enjoy. That's the formula how to enjoy. So we are going to go to enjoy with God. Our individuality remains. God is there. So we all together, God will take us to the forest, tending the cows, we'll be dancing and rejoicing with him, eat nice, delicious prasadam. That's enjoyment. So you go into the forest alone and sitting there. How will you enjoy? With who? Enjoyment is with people. That's why God expanded himself. I am one. Let me become many for my enjoyment. Yes, God. And God became many, expand all of us. See? For enjoyment. Well, that is God. He can expand himself to do that, but we cannot do that. If we want to expand, you go and look for somebody else, the man, the woman, but we cannot expand like God. That's how we do our own. But God will expand himself as he wants and enjoy himself. So we are eternally spiritual. And enjoyment is when we all come together.
You described it very well.
Yeah.
Let's continue that over lunch because we are over time. We extended the program a little bit, but please let's give Maharaj a round of applause. Short kirtan, and then we'll have a delicious lunch. I hope you are all hungry because it's amazing. Stay tuned for after the kirtan because we have some announcements.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. That was amazing. I feel like we could be here all day, actually. And so I wish we could, actually. But I know some people have other plans, and we want to finish with kirtan. And then hopefully Maharaj will be here for more questions after if people have. And also, he's going to be here tonight at the temple. So if you can all come, that would be amazing. Tonight, he's going to be giving class at 6. So 5:30, there's some kirtan, and then a class around 6:15. So please come. So all I see in this room is a lot of souls.